Welcome everybody to our webinar, Data Quality First, Preparing for AI Success. My name is Daniel, I'm a consultant for cimt services in Cologne, and today we want to give you an introduction to data quality with Talend. For the agenda, first off, I will start with a brief introduction of cimt and what makes us who we are. After this, we will look at the challenge of data quality in the context of AI enablement. Then we will dive straight into our shipping scenario that will highlight data quality changes in the context of a shipping company, as well as the goals to improve the current situation and how our solution approach will look like. To make all of the above more tangible, we will then enter the live demo of data inventory and data stewardship. This will encompass user roles and basic functionalities of both tools, as well as a small stewardship campaign that is connected to our shipping scenario and will illustrate data quality changes before and after the campaign. During this webinar, my colleague Wafa and I will try to answer your questions as best we can. We will take questions a couple of times during the webinar, after some of the major agenda points, and of course at the end during the Q&A section. So please feel free to put in your questions into the chat. But first, an introduction of cimt. Cimt is a company founded in the year 2000. The main office was founded in Hamburg, and from there we scattered through Germany with our offices in Berlin, Düsseldorf, Frankfurt, and Cologne. Later, Vught was added in the Netherlands, mainly to the Philips project in Eindhoven. And recently we extended with our office in Grenada, so that over the time span of 25 years now, we are 7 offices strong. We don't have any sponsorships. We are founded and the capital is invested in the company. We are growing year by year in employees as well as turnover in all 7 locations combined. Our primary focus is SAP consulting and data management. So next, let's take a look at our partnerships. We focus primarily on Talend Qlik, which is our data management and our data governance platform that we implement, with which we have a partnership since 2008. We also offer solutions which involve different platforms, like for example Mendix. With our Mendix partnership, our efforts lie in offering MDM solutions with Snowflake as a cloud scaling mechanism for data warehousing. But of course, it all started with SAP. We are a SAP partner for 25 years now and offer all imaginable capabilities provided by this platform. To get a bit familiar with our customer base, here are some of our most recognizable ones. We deliver our solutions in a broad spectrum. For instance, we deliver our solutions to chemical businesses, but also to financial ones, as well as logistic and manufacturing focused ones. Okay, so now let's start with facing the challenge. So in the realm of artificial intelligence, data is a cornerstone on which models are built. However, the quality of this data is what makes or breaks the AI. Poor data quality can lead to countless issues that can compromise the effectiveness and reliability of AI systems. To understand high quality data that can be used in AI systems, we first have to understand the recipe of clean, reliable data, in short, healthy data. Healthy data, no matter what kind of data, shares 4 essential ingredients. First of all, completeness ensures that all necessary data is available for training. Incomplete data can lead to models that lack comprehensive understanding of the problem, resulting in unreliable or biased outputs. Imagine, for example, in a retail business, if an AI system lacks complete sales data, it might misjudge product demand. This can result in overstocking items that don't sell well, leading to wasted inventory and increased storage costs, or understocking popular items, resulting in lost sales and dissatisfied customers. Secondly, accuracy is crucial for training robust AI models. Inaccurate data can influence the training process, causing the AI to learn incorrect patterns and produce faulty results. Let's maybe take a customer purchase history, for example. If this history is incorrect, the AI might recommend products that the customer has already purchased or that he has no interest in. This in turn will lead to poor customer satisfaction and reduced sales. Inaccurate data in customer profiles can also lead to misguided marketing campaigns that fail to target the right audiences. The third point is timeliness. Data must be up to date and relevant at the time of use. Outdated data can mislead AI systems, particularly in dynamic environments, for example, in supply chain management. If the AI uses outdated shipping data, it may not account for current delays or changes in delivery schedules. And this can result in stock shortages or surpluses and disrupt operations and increase costs and lead to unhappy customers due to delayed shipments. And lastly, we've got consistency. Consistency is vital for ensuring that data is reliable across different sources and time periods. Inconsistent data can confuse AI models, leading to erratic behavior and poor performance. For instance, if financial data is recorded differently across the departments, such as one department recording revenue by transaction date and another by payment date, the AI might produce inaccurate financial forecasts. These forecasts could suggest incorrect budget allocations, resulting in overspending or underspending in critical areas that will ultimately affect the company's financial health and strategic planning. By the way, this example showcases one of the most common biases regarding data quality. In fact, nobody ever has any DQ issues unless we start comparing data across different departments. So yeah, but that's not all, unfortunately. Poor data quality not only undermines these qualities. Once identified, it will trigger extensive cleaning and pre-processing, consuming time and resources. This delays the development process, increases the costs, and reduces the overall efficiency of AI projects. So what does this mean in terms of facing the challenge? Well, to summarize, we should learn how to walk before we try to run a marathon. If we use an outdated or incomplete map, we won't be able to know where we will end up. And even if we manage to succeed once and reach our goal, we need a consistent strategy to be able to recreate our success based on best practices. Now that we've taken a look at the general challenge and how to best engage with it, let's look at our scenario that will provide us with an actual use case, which we'll use to formulate our goals. This goals then will aid us in approaching our solution. So for this webinar, we are taking a look at an imaginary company based on a real one, which is struggling with data quality issues. This company utilizes an ERP system, in this case SAP, for managing its core business processes, including order management, inventory tracking, and shipping logistics. Alongside this, the company also employs a CRM system, Salesforce, to efficiently manage customer interactions, sales, and support inquiries. And yeah, recently, to get a competitive edge over its main competitors, this company is looking into setting up an AI-driven logistics solution. And during this process, for the last couple of months now, while analyzing data sets suitable for training this planned AI solution, data quality issues have surfaced, and for the first time, the awareness of those kinds of issues has increased. Those issues are related to shipping logistics and consist of discrepancies in customer names and addresses, as well as missing phone numbers between their ERP and CRM platforms. This can cause a couple of different issues. For example, delivery inaccuracies. Missing or misleading customer addresses increase the risk of missed deliveries, delayed shipments, and missed delivery deadlines. This could also result in operational inefficiencies. If this inaccurate or missing data has already been detected, be it by chance or after delivery has gone wrong, it often requires manual intervention to solve these issues. This, of course, is consuming valuable time and resources, while potentially delaying other order fulfillment processes. And yeah, all of this can, of course, negatively impact the overall customer experience and satisfaction levels, and will ultimately lead to customer frustration and the potential loss of trust. And yeah, to come back to our AI training, these issues can also cause the AI training data to become tainted. Inaccurate data foundations, be it through missing or wrong information, can cause AI-driven solutions to still produce convincing, but ultimately wrong results. These wrong results can be very hard to spot because of the potential volume of training data, the subtlety of errors, and of course, cognitive biases. Right. So far, any questions? Wafa, I think you're muted.
Sorry, no questions at the moment.
All right, then let's continue. Yeah, this leads us to the data quality goals we want to implement for this company. First of all, we want the company to have the ability to discover DQ issues. This ability is vital to minimize the impact on our business processes as much as possible. We want to discover any DQ-related issues before they even pose a threat to our business. Secondly, we want the company to have the capability to cleanse DQ issues. We, of course, want to be able to cleanse any data queue-related issues we already discovered. We want to do this in a way that minimizes operational inefficiencies by utilizing our resources to its fullest potential. And as we'll see later, the right tools will enable us to do exactly this by preparing the data for manual verification and finding the right roles through collaboration. And yeah, another important goal is to find a way to monitor DQ changes across all datasets. So discovering and solving DQ-related issues is unfortunately not all we need. We also want to be aware of the continuous shifts in data quality to be able to measure our success. And the fourth goal we want to achieve is to build a strategy to consolidate cleansed data. And after we cleanse the data through automated as well as manual means, a strategy needs to be implemented to make sure that the cleansed data can be sent back into the source systems. We do this via curated datasets to keep the cleansing separate from the sources. So yeah, why is it important to keep it separate at first? Well, it gives us the opportunity to first validate and test the data without affecting live operational data. We can also choose to update the data to minimize disruptions, or rather when to update the data to minimize disruptions. For example, to minimize performance losses to business operations. Additionally, we can provide backup and recovery options to if something goes wrong with the source database. And lastly, we have to make sure that we provide the capacity for different roles to participate. So no matter what business our company pursues, there are always a lot of different roles involved. Some are IT focused, but most of them will usually focus on the core business. Therefore, we want to make sure to involve all roles into our data quality efforts. Yeah, perhaps as a side note, you might know frameworks like the Dharma framework, which covers even more DQ-related dimensions. But for this webinar, we will focus on the ones that are most important for our scenario. All right, so now that we've specified our goals, we need to look at a viable strategy that will ensure a steady progress towards our goals. For this, we will use a data quality management strategy, which is based on the well-known PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act circle. This will be our data journey. This methodology takes form of an ongoing data journey of discovery, monitoring, cleansing, and consolidation to keep the data quality up to the company's standards. Oops, sorry. The first step of this journey, is discovery. It includes ingestion, profiling, understanding the context of the dataset, as well as understanding the rules that are already in place. The second step is monitoring. Monitoring the data quality is as important as fixing the issues once they have been discovered. It is vital for measuring and assessing our success of any efforts over time. And it will ensure the steady evolution of our data sets, may it be good or bad. The ability to be alerted if any DQ issues arise is also vital. And this can be through visual cues or via sharing discoveries with other roles. The third step is cleansing. So, of course, we want to be able to cleanse the DQ issues we've already found. For this, we can have automated fixes with the help of Talend jobs and manual cleansing with the help of Talend data stewardship campaigns. Which will enable our business users to help with this. Both of these approaches can, of course, be used in combination. And now the last step is consolidation. Consolidation, we already talked this while discussing the goals earlier. The strategy to move cleansed data back into the sources via curated datasets to keep cleansed data away from our sources. the cleansing step away from our sources. All right, then for our solution approach, the next step we will have to take is to translate our data quality management lifecycle strategy to the tools we want to implement. Our recommended strategy is to create a data quality management framework with the help of Talend Data Fabric to do all required activities. In this case, Talend Data Fabric is providing us with the necessary tools to create our data set lifecycle for the systems already in place. To understand the different tools a little bit better, let's look at data quality as an agile team sport. Data quality needs to be managed by IT developers through automated processes like Talend jobs, which are in this case represented by Talend data integration, but also by data stewards, represented by all kinds of data citizens via manual verification and cleansing through data inventory and data stewardship campaigns. Additionally, data catalog enables all kinds of roles to discover the data lineage and create a metadata repository or just browse the data glossary. And finally, data preparation is able to give roles with less IT experience the option to create data pipelines, which are small integration jobs, to automate some of the steps along the data quality journey. But for our scenario today, we will only take a deeper look at the data inventory and data stewardship and briefly touch the Talend data integration part of our solution. So let's quickly answer the question, what is data inventory and data stewardship all about, and how does it help to reach our goals? So first of all, Talend data inventory is helping us to fulfill our discovery and monitoring goals. It's doing so by providing an overview of all selected data sets in a complete and easy to understand fashion. The data inventory helps us to discover data quality related issues by giving us a trust score for every data set. Data stewardship, on the other hand, allows collaboration on data quality issues by implementing a team-based workflow that every data citizen, every role, no matter how IT savvy they are, can participate in. It basically allows everybody to clean, certify, reconcile data, and delegate tasks to the people who know the data best. These people are called the data stewards, which will receive tasks according to their data proficiencies. Based on the type of campaign, they will then complete a set of tasks to gradually improve the company's data quality, as we'll soon see during the demo part of this webinar. Campaign owners are a second role available inside the data stewardship. They will create and lead campaigns as well as distribute tasks. All right, so now that we know what these tools are capable of, we need to apply them to the data quality management strategy. As you can see, all the important parts of our strategy are still present. Discovering and monitoring will be realized with the help of Talend data inventory, while cleansing as well as standardizing will be achieved by using Talend data integration jobs as well as Talend data stewardship. To quickly describe the order of what will happen during the cycle, for this example, let's assume that we already got everything we need in place. The data sets for data inventory as well as data stewardship campaigns, the Talend jobs to move data into the data stewardship campaigns and back into the staging tables, as well as the data stewardship campaigns itself. First, the appointed roles will get an overview of the current data quality by analyzing certain data sets via the trust score. The trust score is giving us a holistic overview over the data health. Don't worry, we'll further explain the trust score while we are in the demo part of the inventory. So if any issues were detected during this step, data from the source system, in this case customer data, will be sent to one or more data stewardship campaigns via Talend data integration jobs. Once this data is available inside the data stewardship, the appointed data stewards will try to resolve these issues. And once this has been done and verified, the data can be sent back to a staging table to finally be integrated back into the source system. This change will then be visible inside the data inventory and will prove our gain in data quality. Okay, any questions so far?
No questions. I think we might have them at the end once they see the demo.
Yeah, all right. Then let's move straight to the demo. Just give me a second here. Oh yeah. Let's just log into our Talend Data Fabric. Yeah, to start things off, let me first introduce you to the Talend Data Fabric, where all applications can be accessed in one place. And okay. First of all, let me show you where you can find both apps we are using today for this demo. So here you can see my account has a lot of different applications available. Yeah, this can of course be adjusted by via the roles aspect of Data Fabric, which will ensure that every user only see the apps they need to interact with. All right, let's start with data inventory. And just open a data set of the company we introduced in our scenario. The account and customer data. So what you can see here on this dashboard, so the most prominent graph you will see is the Talend trust score. This trust score consists of 5 qualities. The first quality, validity, is now at 76%. And validity is influenced by the data quality of the data set. So how many invalid values are there and how many valid values do we have, as well as data quality rules, which will determine what is considered a valid and invalid record, as well as semantic types, which are patterns that can be enforced through data stewardship campaigns and here in the data inventory. And yeah, we will look again at the semantics types during the sample step of the Talend data inventory demo. But yeah, these are influencing validity, and these both the data quality rules and the semantic types are already available for the data inventory and data stewardship. But of course, this being Talend, these are fully customizable, and new rules and semantic types can be created and existing ones can be altered, of course. All right, so let's look at quality, the next quality called popularity. So popularity is now at 10%, it's quite low, and popularity can be influenced by a couple of things. First thing is the user rating. So every user that has access to this data set can give this rating based on the data quality or how good this data set is working for them. Of course, it can also be influenced by a certification. Some roles can certify this data set and yeah, bump up the trust score even more. Right now, it's at 2.7%. We can also favorite this data set to even update, to even give it an increased trust score. Right now, it's at 3.32. So yeah, that's all about popularity. It's now at 78%. And let's move on to completeness. Completeness is quite obvious. We've got not a lot of, but some empty values inside this data set. And if we get rid of these empty values, the completeness will, of course, increase, influencing the trust score again. We can't do this here inside the data inventory. For this, we'll have to take a look at the data stewardship campaign and try to add some of the values later on. All right, the next quality is discoverability. Discoverability just gives us an answer to the question, how easy can the data be accessed and do the right roles have access to it? Discoverability can be influenced by giving the dataset a description. Let's do this really quick. And giving the datasets tags to make it easier to find the dataset. Right, once we've done this, the trust score should increase again. And yeah, let's move on to usage. Usage, as you can see, this dataset was not used for a long time. Now I'm the person that's using it right now. So over the last couple of days, this increased quite significantly. And yeah, that's about all that is that's influencing the usage. Of course, you can change the period up to 90 days. And if you want to be reminded of those qualities and what they do, you can click off Insights. Then you will get a short description of all the qualities we just talked about. All right, let's move to the sample step. So the sample option lets us dive deeper into the actual data and what's wrong with the data. So as you can see here, our data set is 14 records big. The sample can be as big as 10,000 records, but in this case, for this demo purpose, it's only 14 records. And here we can already see that the billing postal code and the phone number has got a couple of invalid values. What we can do here is we can just select this one and then change the semantic type. Right now, the semantic type that is chosen here only accepts US postal codes. We can change this to the general postal code semantic type. And for phone number, we will also use the normal phone number type and not the US phone number type, and just apply the changes. Nope. Oh. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
All right. Got a small issue here right now, but let's fix this real quick. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to show you, the source side of this. So, but let's continue where we were. Unfortunately, SAP timed out right now. All right, but we used the time to just refresh the data set. And as you can see right now, the billing postal code is now no longer invalid. All the values are accepted as valid values. And the phone numbers, well, some of them are still invalid, but some also changed to valid phone numbers. All right, that's all you can do right here in the sample mode. And let's quickly cover the two remaining options. So API lets us further share our data set to OData users in a read-only fashion, while the configure option just lets us further configure our data set, how many columns we want to see, and what conditions we want to enforce. In this data set, we only want to see the account source of Salesforce and Duns & Bradstreet. And yeah, this can also be changed. And of course, here the dataset can be refreshed by clicking View Sample and also validated. All right. That is all about the inventory for now. Let me quickly get this in order. All right. So now, how do we further improve the quality of our data set? To start off, let's remember what brought us here. We have customer data in both our ERP system as well as in our CRM system. And during our AI training attempts, we discovered duplicate records for our customers that are different between our source systems. Let's then switch to SAP real quick and make sure we can show the right data. All right. So yeah, this is our data set we've already seen inside the inventory. And if we take one of our customers, let's go with Aglobo, we can see everything is filled in. So telephone number, street, everything we need. And then if we take a look at this same data set in our CRM system, and look at Aglobo again, we can already see the phone numbers missing. So yeah, this, of course, begs the question now, how the systems would be the more trustworthy one. And to figure this out, we are implementing a hybrid solution. With this solution, we are trying to stay as close as possible to the 80-20 rule, in that we try to solve as much as possible without any human interaction. And for the rest, we will use a data stewardship merging campaign. This campaign will incorporate our data citizens with the most data knowledge to take care of the remaining data quality issues. In order to show this, let me explain the automated part first and what we are trying to solve with this. For automated data integration part, we are using a couple of Talend Studio jobs, which are Java-based programs that are created by using this graphical interface. To explain this real quick, let's take a look at this integration job. And yeah, let's just look at this part here. It uses a Duns and Bradstreet API is used to try and match our customer records using the Duns number. Duns and Bradstreet is an external data source to validate our source data. In other scenarios, we might use other providers, but for validating our customer data, Duns and Bradstreet is what we are using for now. So if our records already contain Duns numbers, we can use this record information, to send a request to the Duns and Bradstreet database. In return, we will receive the record from Duns and Bradstreet, which will then presented as a merging option inside our stewardship campaign. For us, this will be the most trusted option and should always be used by the data steward if available. If we go down a bit to this T-match group component. So at this point, we group our customer info based on the similarity of the customer name by using an appropriate algorithm to identify possible duplicates. And if we've discovered this duplicates, we then combine the Duns and Bradstreet data, the SAP data, as well as the Salesforce data back into one data set, which we will then send back to our data stewardship campaign. This data set will be the foundation on which our data stewards will make their decisions by giving them up to 3 options to choose from, as we can soon see. The campaign we sent this to will, in our case, be a merging campaign. Here, our data stewards will use these options to combine several duplicate records, source records, into one single record known as a golden record. And this will ultimately help us to create complete and trustworthy data sets. There are 3 additional campaigns available, like arbitration, resolution, and grouping. But for today, we will just focus on the merging campaign. If you want to learn more about the other campaign types, please let us know in the chat so that we might get in contact with you after this webinar. So to show you all of this from the perspective of the data steward, let's switch back to our first data inventory, and from here, select the data stewardship app. Nope. Okay. Let's log in again then. All right. We pre-filtered for our merging campaign already, so that we can just select this campaign and see if we've got any tasks as a data steward. Okay. As you can see, we've got 14 records, same as we've seen in the inventory. And now what we can do as a data steward, well, we should first take a look at this column here, and then maybe select Aglobo again. And yeah, there you can already see we've got 3 sources for Aglobo, Duns & Bradstreet, Salesforce, and SAP. So as we already know, if we've got Dun & Bradstreet as a choice, we should use this. But that's not all, because as we can see, even Duns & Bradstreet is missing some information. In this case, the state or region. So let's just, as a data steward, type in the right abbreviation, because we know the data set. And then the complete record should be valid. What we can do now, or what we should do now, is we should take a look at these 2 columns here, update Salesforce and update SAP, to make sure that we update our now resolved records back to the to both of the source systems. All right, now that we've done this, we can just log in this entry, and yeah, it should be somewhere available. Okay, we can take a look at this later on. So now let's look at Cambridge Sport. So Cambridge Sport looks quite good in SAP, and there are 2 missing values in SAP. So what we do here is we just okay. Hopefully you can hear me again. All right, so we will just go ahead and update this entry just for Salesforce. If we've done this, we can log this in and just move on. So what we will do next, just to be able to see a little bit more after we've completed this campaign, we will just fill in a couple of these abbreviations to make sure it's correct. We could also, of course, if we've got more data, just filter state and region, and then use this tasks to just select and replace to help us out a little bit. But in this case, let's just go for the manual. All right, now that we've updated all this, we can just go ahead and select the right entry for every one of those. To make sure that we will have a couple of resolved tasks, and that we will then use to showcase the change in data quality afterwards. All right, this should be enough, I guess. So for our last showcase, let's take a look at Big Wheel. Oh, I think I need to deselect this. All right, so right now the type of customer is eating place, but we don't want this. We still want the Dunstan Bradstreet entry, but we want to be this to be considered a restaurant. So we just pick this and use this this value from our Salesforce source system, and now can use this inside our Dunstan Bradstreet as well. All right, we can log this in again, and then we can validate our work. So 7 tasks were updated successfully, and we can then go ahead and take a second look at our resolved tasks to validate our work again. And yeah, as you can see for yourself, everything we just did in data stewardship was quite straightforward and easy, but will have a big impact in bridging those 20% in manual tasks to fix our data quality. And by the way, every data stewardship campaign can have multiple approval steps to satisfy the 4 I's principle. And furthermore, not all data stewards might be able to manipulate or even see all of these fields. This can also be adjusted by the campaign owner for every campaign. All right, then for our next step, let's change back to our Talend Studio and just run this update job here. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Okay, in the meantime, we can maybe switch back to our inventory. Then just refresh our data set. All right, as you can see, there are 7 rows that are now updated inside the appropriate source system. And now if we go back to our data set from before, it's 3.7. And then maybe just refresh the data set once again. Maybe just another reminder. Well, I just started this update job manually to showcase the process for this demo, but this of course could be easily scheduled to run on its own. Okay, this is taking a bit longer. Maybe you have time to answer a question if there is already one.
Yes, there is. One I hope we've answered already. We have Shiva that was asking about how we can connect between SAP and Talend. And I think you've shown that in the job, but by all means, we can show that again if need be. And then he was asking about login and history after you've changed the data. So the question is, how are changes visible in the data after you've consolidated or fixed that? How do you see lineage and login or history.
All right. Oh, sorry. I think there's something.
Yeah, so I'm hoping once you get the new sample, of
Yes.
course you have the history of the whole sample in there. But one of the reasons we also do staging is so that you can maintain kind of all the changes we do. There are various reasons to log history, basically. We log it in the staging, and then ultimately it's up to a customer to decide whether they want to consolidate that in their systems or not. But then you also keep the various versions in there. Another possible option is to also maintain those when we do the integrations. And then that's just logging within our studio jobs. That's if you want to look at data specific. Now there's other ways of seeing history. So on stewardship, for example, this is before consolidation. So when you have a steward actually looking at the data, when you do changes on it, you can check what changes every steward's doing before they're validated. So when a campaign owner is resolving all those tasks and approving them, they can see exactly what every person has done and then approve or disapprove of those changes. And then over here, you get the history overview kind of. So you can see the plus 0.44, that's already gone, was on your earlier screen.
Oh, sorry. Let's change
No
back.
worries. So if you look at the trust score, it's at 370. We started at 356 after the initial changes, but you can see that you've got a 0.44% over the last 30 days that can change into the last 7 days or into the last month in the period that you can see right there.
Yeah. All right, let's change back to the data stewardship to showcase another aspect of this history, or the task history, rather. Okay. Let's go to resolved. And then, yeah, you can already see there's got a little this little clock item lets you then see all the updates and the changes of these tasks. So the cast type change, the transition from empty to resolved, and so on. All right, I think let's go back to the inventory. So I wanted to showcase the updated trust score, but I think the refreshing of the data set was not even necessary, because the 3.7 already. Oh, wait a sec. Let's go back to our real data set then. Yeah, so the 3.7 is already our new trust score with all the empty values fixed that we've already did during the stewardship campaign. So yeah, to summarize it, by employing this strategy as well as the tools we just showcased, we will be able to create our definitive source of truth, also known as the golden record. This golden record, in turn, will not only help us to realize our plans for creating a complete, accurate, and consistent AI solution that is using up-to-date data, it will also improve our general delivery accuracy and efficiency, which will ultimately improve our way of doing business. All right, and with this, we will end our demo and go straight to the Q&A section. Okay, do we have any further questions?
I think not. Danny, I guess, got his answer. But yeah, we have 8 minutes left. So if anyone has any questions, by all means. Otherwise, we will wrap up a bit earlier.
Oh. So if you want to get in contact with us, here you find our emails. We are happy to answer your questions even after this webinar. And yeah, if you're interested to learn more, please feel free to contact us.
Just to wrap up while we give everyone a chance, just in case. Danielle has shown everyone how to create, the overview of a job that would allow to fetch data from various sources. We've used Salesforce and SAP here. A lot of people are familiar with those two, of course. It is flexible enough that we could use practically almost any other source. We've shown how to look at your trust score, whether you can, so you can kind of see what the issues with your data are. We've then gone into stewardship, how your stewards can fix data and send it back. As per Danny's question, we've also shown how to look at the history and the login to track what your stewards are actually doing, and then how to send that back to your sources should you wish to. If anyone is curious as to how we could do this with different sources as well, then by all means, just reach out to us at a later stage and we'll be happy to provide that.
All right. So yeah, thanks again for joining.
We do have one final one, it seems like. So Shiva is asking, after we create the golden record, will the source data in SAP table also be updated? The answer is it's up to you, but we can. So Danielle was showing on stewardship. We just apply true or false to the sources if we want them updated. So if you want Salesforce updated, you set that to true. And then when we run the job after the resolving of the tasks, it will update SAP as well. If you don't want to update SAP, then you just keep that as false. Same goes for Salesforce or any other source you wish to change.
Yep.
If you do a fix or a change in SAP, is that immediately updated? That's again also up to you. Whether you want to run the jobs manually, whether you want them to be triggered based on a change over here, or you want it to run on a schedule. Maybe you want all the changes to go to be updated every 1 hour or once a day.
That's completely up to you, yeah.
And I think then that concludes it.
All right. So yeah, thanks for joining. And I hope we could show you something interesting. And again, if you are interested and want to get in contact, please feel free to do. And yeah, then we conclude this webinar and have a nice day, everybody. Okay, see you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.